Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna be reviewing Allez Stage 1. Hope I said it right. Stage 1, which is the July 2025 Zwift Racing League course. In this one, I was sitting at 179 racing score, and we're competing in the 160 to 270 range. So I was definitely competing with people generally above my level. I mean, somewhere around the same racing score. Some of them were in the upper range, but I mean, that's what I was expecting. I mean, at the end of the day, for me, it's about having fun and being competitive, and so for me, it's important to compete. You know, I guess people who are going to be harder to beat. I think that's the kind of the way I approach it, and not just go in and expect to be first, second, third. So let's take a look. So in this race, we have 57 different riders. And this is by far the biggest race I've done in terms of number of people. I think the most was before was 24, so more than double. So this was a 2-lap race, and not a lot of elevation. There was some there towards the beginning, and then right at the end there's a bit of elevation on the cobblestone, so pretty rough one, especially towards the end after you've done a relatively long race for Zwift standards. My goal was just to stay with the pack as much as possible, and then possibly at the end try to go for a push. So right towards the beginning there was a breakaway. I think it was 3 or 4 riders, but I wasn't expecting them to go very far. I mean, with a group this big, it's really hard. Like, you'd have to push so much power, especially towards the beginning. There's not really a point, the way I see it. And I definitely couldn't join him because I mean, I was fighting with a group above my skill level, essentially. For the first lap, the group was pretty much together after that breakaway. I got the steamroller here, and I wanted to test it to see how long it would last. So I figured I would test it right at the end to see, you know, where I could use it strategically. So you can see right here at the end there is a first climb, then there's a little bit of descent, not much. Then there's a turn, and then the final straight, which is relatively long. And it's actually smart to use the steamroller here because it's not pavement, so there is a little bit of advantage of using it. So we're close to the end here. 1.3 miles to the end. I have a steamroller that I'm gonna be using at the end. Yeah, I mean, my expectation was somebody was gonna try to break away. What I did not realize is that it happened right here.
Let's go. It's a group. Let's go.
And I was relying on my group to catch up with them, but the reality of the fact is, honestly, I should just stay with them. I think this was my biggest mistake of the race, is that instead of sticking with them, I just sit in the group and hoping that we would catch up with them. Spoiler alert, we never did, not fully. So, I mean, it's only a mile away. That's not very long. So at one point here, I just realized that we were not going to catch him this way. And I started pushing forward, even though it meant that I didn't have a draft. So yeah, I mean, my mistake, I think it wasn't even the fact that I pushed like this. It's just, I should have been ready, honestly. I should have been ready for that.
Let's go, Paul.
So as you can see here, I'm not really getting any draft. I just have one rider next to me, and I even pass him. And I'm just trying to close that gap. And I just knew that if I stayed with a group behind me, it was not going to happen. With me being so far behind that group and having to go there without literally any draft, except to here occasionally with 1 or 2 people at most, it meant that I was going to be burnt out by the time I caught up with him. And so anybody that's in that group was going to be not fresh, but in a much better shape. So we got that first climb here. We're sitting at about 4 watts. Getting ready for this descent.
Power to get there.
And then we make this turn, and then there's the final straight. And at this point, it's gonna be all out. On the all out, I was able to get a few positions here. I lost one behind. He had a draft. Looking back in hindsight, maybe I should have had a draft. But yeah, I caught 3 people and lost one.
I did my energy.
Overall, not a bad result. I mean, there's 57 different riders, and I was 6th place in a category where I was. My racing score was 179 when I started, so I was really in the bottom end of the category. So I mean, considering I thought it was a pretty weak push, to be honest, but I mean 6.67 actually ended up being one of the top ones. 3rd place out of everybody for the 15-second. I know I can do better than that. I just I pushed too much, trying to catch with that group, which I do think, however, it was a good idea. My biggest mistake was not pushing to get to that group. My biggest mistake was not being ready for that last, not really breakaway, I guess, well, last push, last attack. I think that was my biggest mistake. But overall, I mean, not a bad result for somebody who's sitting right at the bottom of that category, being 6th place. I mean, if you look, everybody around me is way past my level. This one is a little bit close with 237. Everybody else was like way past, so yeah, not a bad result overall. I think it's pretty good. Let me know what you think, and see you in the next video.